Hey everybody, in today's video I'm going to be talking about the Melnor Automatic Water Timer. So this is how I have it hooked up here. I just have them using 2 zones out of the 4, but let's get right into it. So on the screen I've got the manual showing what all the buttons and all the zones are. And here on the unit I want to show the 4 zones. So there's zone 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be important. If you have a different model with 1 zone, it's not going to have the zone button, but if you have a 2, 3, or the 4 one, of course there's the 4 zones with the zone button. Programming them is all the same except for that zone feature. Okay, so to turn it on, we have to flip it around, and you take the battery pack, and it takes 2 AA, you pop it in, and it'll take a few seconds to boot up. And we're going to start with the set clock, so it'll be setting the day of the week and the time of the day. And look at that little arrow there, so that's telling you that we're on the set clock. So Sunday's blinking, you'll see it there. We're going to set it to Saturday today because it is Saturday. Press the OK button for the time. We'll set it to 10 o'clock because it's 10 o'clock here. And it's on AM right now. And then we will press OK, and now we're set for AM 10 o'clock Saturday, and we'll use the cursor button to switch to water day. So this is setting up your water days for zone 1. Zone 1 is this one. We're setting up our water days. So for this example, let's say we want to water on Monday, so we'll move the arrow over to Monday, and let's say we also want to water on Wednesday. So we'll set it to Wednesday. Now Monday and Wednesday are outlined. Let's say we decide, we want to water every day of the week, every one day. So we move past Saturday, and then we press the arrow button or plus button, and it'll go every one day. You can set this to every 2 days, every 3 days, all the way up to every 7 days. So like once a week. So that's how you can set the different days. Also note that that little arrow button is on the water day. So we want to water every one day on zone 1. And this is zone 1. So now we're going to hit the cursor button again. And now we're on start water. You see the little arrows there on start water. So it's saying for zone 1, we're on cycle A. When do we want to start the water? So let's say for this one, we want to start the water at 5 in the morning. So let's say we're watering our garden, and we want to water at 5 in the morning. Okay, so it's going to start watering at 5 in the morning, 5 a.m. Let's say for this example we want to also do afternoon water at 3 p.m. So we'll switch to cycle B, pressing the cycle button. Now we're on cycle B, and we'll make our way to 3 p.m. So you can set 4 different start times in a 24-hour period by utilizing cycles A, B, C, and D. You can use, you can only do 1 if you want. You can do all 4. It's your choice. So we're going to get to cycle B to start at 3 p.m. So we're going to leave C blank, we're going to leave D blank, cycle A is 5 a.m., cycle B is 3 p.m. And we're still on zone 1. That's this one. We're going to use the cursor button. So for cycle B, it's asking us how long do we want to water for. Let's just say 5 minutes. And then we're going to hit the cycle button, and we're going to go to cycle A, and let's say, this is the morning water at 5 in the morning, so we want to do a 10-minute water, and then the afternoon water, which is cycle B, we'll leave it at 5 minutes. And the little arrow is at how long, so how long are we watering for? And then we'll press the cursor button, and now it's the little arrow is at auto, so it's going to automatically start watering the garden. It told us the time there, 10:02, and it's saying the next water, so 3 p.m. Saturday. Zone 1, because the day is Saturday and the next watering will be at 3 p.m. so it tells us that, and now it's gonna work the way it's intended. Now a few other extra settings is that I'll show you how to do a rain delay. So let's say it's gonna rain for the next 2 days and I don't need to water. I'm gonna hold down this plus button or arrow button here. Even says down here, you hold that button. So you can set it to delay rain, or to delay watering for a set number of hours or days. So here we'll set it for 2 days. Let's say the forecast says rain for 2 days. We just leave it, and now it's delay for 2 days, and it'll flip between the time, showing us again now it's 10:03, and then it'll say delay for 2 days. Let's say the forecast changed. You just hit the minus button, and you completely get rid of this, and then it'll get rid of the rain delay. So now it'll go back to normal, auto, and it'll tell us when it's watering next, which will be zone 1, and it's PM 3 o'clock Saturday is when the next watering will happen. If we want to just shut off the unit completely but not take the battery pack out, we press the cycle button to the off, and now it'll just sit here idle and not do anything. Let's say we want to do a manual water. I'm just gonna hit the cycle button and go back to auto here. So we're back on auto. So the manual water function lets you water manually, basically. So you press it, and then you'll select the zones by pressing the zone button 1, 2, 3, or 4. And let's say we want to give zone 1 an extra water right now. We would select manual, have zone 1 selected, and let's say we want to water for 10 minutes, give it an extra 10-minute watering. Press that for 10 minutes, and then in a moment here it'll engage. You'll hear a click. You heard that? It's turned on, and now, like, if this was hooked up to the hose, it would start actually putting water through zone 1 for 10 minutes. And this is just like a one-time thing. So that's another example. Is say you have a garden hose hooked up to zone 4 and you want to water, for maybe 20 minutes. You would do a manual, but you would just change the zone to zone 4, and then you could use that garden hose for 20 minutes. If we want to finish say we're done, or we did an error, we just press manual off. Well, we press the manual button and then it'll shut off. And now there's no more water running manually. You can do that with any zone. So we set up zone 1. You can do it on the zones that aren't set up as well. You can do a manual water. And if you want to completely reset the system, you just hold down the OK button like this for about 5 seconds. And then it'll take a few moments to reboot. And the system's completely reset to factory settings. So I really like this water timer. Generally speaking, having a water timer is worth it, in my opinion, because you can water the garden, early morning when you're still sleeping in bed. It's automatically watering for you. Or you're away on vacation or at work, the garden's being watered. You don't have to worry about that. Specifically for this Melnor model, I've had it for 3 years now. It's been working fine. No issues, so I'd say it's decent quality. It feels sturdy. Doesn't feel like a cheap unit when you're holding it in your hands. The controls are easy to use once you learn them, and this model has the manual feature, which is great because you can add an additional watering session without affecting your preset watering schedule. And same with the rain delay. You can use the rain delay and it doesn't affect your preset schedule at all, which is really nice. This model can also be attached to a moisture sensor. I don't have that though, so I can't comment on it. Some cons that might come up with this unit is there's no Wi-Fi or app connectivity. If you're looking for that, this model doesn't support that. The controls, I said that once they're easy to use, or once you learn them, they're easy to use, but learning them, it takes a little bit of time. You got to read the manual or watch this video and learn how to use it. And then the price point. A water timer is optional in the garden, but I think it's worth the cost just because of the convenience that it provides. So I do recommend this water timer, or just a water timer in general. It's really nice to have one. This is the whole manual that comes with the water timer, and you can pause it if you want to look at specific instructions and read them. Thanks for checking out the video, and if you can like, comment, or subscribe, that really helps support my channel. Thanks once again.